Good morning and welcome back to the Sage Sorority Podcast. I'm your host, Shantel. How are we all doing today, guys? Happy Thursday. I hope you guys have been having an amazing week. I've had the busiest week of life. I think this is my first full week back in London since Toronto. Today is actually Wednesday, October 22nd, and it is officially my 7-year anniversary in London. I landed at Heathrow on October 22nd, 2018. At around 7-ish in the morning, very sleepy, very excited. And I got into a black cab, went all the way to Soho to meet my friend and get the keys for our apartment. And that was the beginning of my life here. It is absolutely crazy because 7 years have absolutely whizzed by. But then they haven't. It's been drip by drip, day by day. It is crazy that I feel like my life in Toronto is getting further and further away. Obviously, I spent most of my life there, so it's never too far. And when I go home, it absolutely feels like home. But I use home interchangeably between London and Toronto. So it really just depends on which one I'm talking about, but I view them as the same. I am going to do an anniversary episode actually, and I will gather my thoughts and I will probably get it to you guys after the autumn series is over, but it is something I want to do. I wrote a little piece on my LinkedIn and shared it on my Substack. So link is in the show notes. Definitely read it and let me know what you think. But I'm going to do a full pod on my 7 years in London at the beginning of November for you guys. So sit tight on that. Okay, so we have been talking about our Autumn Reset series all month long on the Sage Sorority. So if you guys haven't tuned in to the last 3 weeks, every Thursday in October, we are doing an autumn energy reset. I won't go too much into it because we've talked ad nauseum about it, and that's what this month is about. Not letting October or autumn be this weird little comma between summer and the new year. We can use it, abuse it, and make it worth our while. So that's what this month is all about. Resetting after summer, reconnecting with people and our own purpose, and reflecting on what actually took root this year. Those episodes were about slowing down, cleaning the slate, and paying attention to what truly matters. This one is about what happens after you've done all of that. Once you've cleared the noise and looked at what's working, the next step is asking, who have I actually become in this process? Because growth does not announce itself. Sorry, it doesn't. It just starts showing up quietly in your tone, in your choices, in your reactions. That's a big one. So that's what today's conversation is about. It is about truly recognizing that shift and matching your habits to it. This isn't about changing the outside yet. We're going to talk about that next week, so sit tight. Today is truly about alignment, catching up with who you already are. So I'm going to walk you through a short alignment check-in, your standards, your rhythm, your signals, followed by some practical stuff, because you guys know I love the practical and tactical around here, that you can implement this week to really help the inside and the outside balance out. Think of it as like a small, tiny little audit before we head into the next chapter of the season. Okay, so first things first is you're going to open up your notes app. If you're at your desk, you're going to jot it down in your journal. And if you're in the car, you are going to sit tight and do this later. Driving is very important to be done safe. So you're going to have 3 headings. You're going to have standards, rhythm, and signals. So standards are what you're no longer available for. That's what I want you to write. Just plain English, 1 line each, doesn't have to be fancy. It could be anything. Time, like rolling lateness. 10 minutes is grace, not the rule. Something like that. Communication. If plans are unclear 24 hours before, I opt out. Simple. Dating and relationships for all my girls in their dating era. Engaging in dynamics that rely on withdrawal to create interest. Maybe you are like, you know what? I just have to keep things clear. I don't want to do the hot and cold. If someone's pulling away, I'm not going to try and chase them. I'm just not interested. And then you're going to circle one that feels real and feels like you want to enforce this week, whatever that is. Circle that one. Next, we're going to go to rhythm. So you're going to pick one routine that stabilizes you. This does not have to be fitness, although it can. It can be Monday morning groceries or, Monday evening groceries. It can be Tuesday Pilates. It can be a Thursday deep work block. It could be an 1 hour on Sunday of admin. Whatever genuinely helps. It just helps to stabilize you and makes you feel like, yes, I've done a big win for this week, even if it's small. Lock it in your calendar and make it a non-negotiable for 2 weeks. See what happens. Third, we're going to go to signals. This is about how the outside starts to match the inside. Language, money, calendar, fashion, phone, the little things. Language could be stop saying, sorry, just checking in. Try following up on this or circling back on this or confirming for Thursday. That is just language of not, I don't want to say sounding weak because that's not really an eloquent way of putting it, but asserting yourself in a way that is not aggressive, right? Women, and I do it too, the likes, the ums, the ahs, and the sorries, we really have to rein that in. So that can be a way that you change your language. On a side note, I think even when you're talking with men or even arguing with men, one thing that I will remind myself or talk about with my friends is talk to them plainly. Like keep it to the facts, and you can add your feelings, but keep it plain. I feel like that is the easiest way to get your message across. Anyways, I go on a whole tangent about that. But yeah, money. Set one line that reflects your standards. Maybe you always cover your first drink or you take taxis after 11, whatever feels right. Calendar, diary for my Brits. Label your blocks properly. So don't just put in your calendar, you're busy. Like put what you're actually being busy doing. Could it be a writing session? Could it be driving? Could it be you need serious time out to like clean or do laundry or read a book? Like detail your iCal in a clear way. I'm a big proponent of this, and I actually don't know how people get things done without having proper diary management. Like I'm going to be very judgy McJudger and say that if you don't really have a detailed diary or agenda at this point in our lives, you either, one, don't have a lot going on, which is fair. You don't need to put anything in. Two, you truly do not value your time. Three, you are able to remember everything. Or four, things fall through the cracks. So you figure out which one you are. But I think detailing things in your diary is very clear, and it really helps you be very organized. I put all my workout classes in my diary. I put reminders in my diary. I put appointments in my diary, and I put travel time. Because I also feel like we lose a lot of time with things. So if you just have a nail appointment and your nail appointment is 45 minutes from your house and then 45 minutes back and your nail appointment is an hour and a half, that's like a 2.5, almost 3 hour block of your day. And I think that that's something you should know, because then you get to the end of the day and you're like, I literally did nothing. And it's just like, yeah, because you're not managing your time appropriately. Anyways, that's just my little like advice and tip. Try it out. Wardrobe. I'm not going to talk too much about this because we are going to discuss a lot of that next week, but there is something to be said about creating a repeatable uniform, especially my girlies that are going into the office 3 or 5 days a week. Keeping a repeatable uniform for the seasons is helpful. Fewer pieces, better fit, take care of your clothes, clean your shoes. That is it. Moving on. Phone. You're going to take 3 distracting apps off of your first screen, or you're going to take 3 apps that you don't even use anymore and you are going to delete. Fully, not just offload, you are going to delete. Something that I have been flirting with the idea of is definitely deleting my social apps like on the weekend, like during the week, because it's also like part of my work. Having it there, but then on the weekends, delete. Like, don't need to be on it. Let's just take a break. I did move my Instagram from my home feed for a very long time. Like, I never had it. I had to like scroll down and type in Instagram, and I find that that was really helpful. I want you to pick 2 of these signals to implement today. Not all of them, just 2. So again, we're saying language, money, calendar, wardrobe, phone. 5 options, pick 2 and implement them. And let me know how it goes. I'm so curious. Okay, here are 5 practical moves I want you to try for this week as well. And I want you to keep it boring, okay? People have a lot to say about boring systems or boring habits or small systems and small habits. But you guys, like, that is what moves the needle in your life. That is what makes lasting change. It's the small stuff. It's the boring stuff. It's eating vegetables when no one's watching. It's going to Pilates in a cold, early morning in December when it's raining outside, when no one can join you. Those are the things that move the needle. It's reading a book when no one cares if you're going to do it or not. It's being a content creator and putting up views when they're only getting 500 or they're only getting 100 or no one's liking them. These are the boring things that move the needle. Trust me on this. This week, you're going to give one very clear, decisive, and juicy no. So you're going to say no somewhere where you would normally soften. Now, I want to emphasize that this does not mean free reign to be a bitch. That is not what I'm saying. What it means is for you to tap out of the people pleasing, and be very clear with how you're delivering your message. A really good example could be like, thanks for thinking of me, but I'm not available, but I hope it goes well. Like for an event or something like that. Soften if you feel like that's too harsh, but the idea is that I don't want you to over-explain yourself. Again, something small, something very minutia that can still move the needle and get you in a good rhythm of being able to give a decisive no when necessary. Not everything requires an excessive buffer. Now, on the flip side, I want you to give one clear, decisive, juicy yes. Something that supports your next version. Book or pay for it today. That could be therapy. That could be the dentist. That could be a new headshot for your LinkedIn. All my girlies that don't have a LinkedIn picture or haven't had one in the last 5 years. I also need to do that for myself. That could be taking your favorite blazer or your favorite dress that has had a hole in it forever, getting it tailored. That could be a cooking class. That could be a solo excursion, whatever it is. You guys know how I feel about having movement in your life. Movement beats your mood all the time. The thing on TikTok these days is depression can't hit a moving target. So give yourself one juicy yes this week as well. Number 3, tidy one surface that you see every morning. That could be your nightstand, that could be your desk, that could be your kitchen table, that could be your island, whatever it is. Visual noise really does drain your brain, and having a clear space changes your mood so quickly. If you're rolling your eyes at this, it's because you haven't done it. And as someone who definitely owns too many things, I can tell you that when I do it, I feel something that I almost can't even articulate into words. And I will explain to you guys. So the other day, I had a friend come over and I was like, you know what? I really want to just declutter the kitchen. It wasn't messy, but I was like, I just really want to declutter it. So I really cleared my kitchen table. I just have like a few books and a candle. And normally, because I have so much clothes, I feel like I'm always doing laundry. Like I'm in a perpetual state of doing laundry. So my drying rack is always out. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put the laundry away. I'm going to close down the drying rack and I'm going to tuck it away. It just doesn't need to be out. It's fine. Like laundry can wait for another day. And just doing that while the rest of the countertop was clear and obviously there were no dishes in the sink, I remember just feeling like, wow, it feels so airy in here and nothing's changed. I've just literally put some stuff away and like put a pause on my laundry and it felt so light and it made me want to be in the space even more. So I'm telling you, this is a thing. Pick an area in your life that you see every day. This could even be at work. Like it doesn't have to be in your house. It could be your own work desk. That's something I used to do a lot when I worked in corporate was I would declutter my desk like every few months. Like just get rid of all the junk, have less on it. It just makes you feel so much better. Trust me on this. Number 4, you are going to upgrade a default response. So when someone asks, when are you free? Give 2 specific options. I love this. As someone who used to work in sales, this is exactly how we used to close business. You don't like waffle and just say, oh, well, da-da-da. No, you'd be like, okay, when are you free? Like, let's say a guy's asking you, when are you free? Instead of being like, well, when are you free? Or I'm pretty free this week. Like, no, that is not a good response. You're going to say, I'm free Wednesday at 8 or Saturday at noon. Let me know what works best for you, or let me know what works for you. You just get better answers and fewer loose ends. And it doesn't have to be within like the dating realm. It could also be with your friends. Like, hey, I'm available on Sunday. Great. I can do Sunday lunch or Sunday coffee. What do you think? In sales, we used to have this thing called ABC where we would say always be closing. And it's just like the idea of like closing the loops, getting fewer loose ends. And sometimes when things are very open-ended, it can just invite more open-endedness because people also lack the confidence sometimes and what's the word? They're just not paying attention. So they're just kind of pivoting back to you for you to make the decision. So whether it's work or personal, you upgrade one of your default replies and you'll get better answers. Trust me on this one. And then finally, proof spotting. So each night this week, finish one line in your journal or in your notes app. Today, I acted like the woman I'm becoming when I XYZ. 7 lines by next week is evidence to you. That is training your brain to believe that, yes, I am becoming the woman I want to be because of XYZ. You are noting down your own evidence, detailing your proof. That could be, today I acted like the woman I'm becoming when I went to Pilates even though I didn't want to. Today I acted like the woman I'm becoming when I said no in a very clear, fair, and respectful way instead of people pleasing. You get me? This is how we remind ourselves that we are becoming the people we want, and our life is proof of that. I hope that makes sense. And one thing I also want to note is goals versus identity, right? We know that the mindset is what ties everything together. If your goals and your calendar are not matching, then your calendar is the reality. Your calendar is who you are. And I'm just using calendar as an example. You can fill it in with anything else. It's not judgment at all. We've all been there in different aspects of our lives, but it is data and it is reflecting back to us what the reality is. If you say you want balance, but your week has zero white space, you're not building balance. You're not factoring balance into your life. You're not carving it out. You're not demanding it. You are not expecting it. If you say you want focus, you're like, I want to make more money. Okay, cool. But your phone's in your hand all day and you're just scrolling. Like your screen time is way up. You're not building focus. You're not carving out time for focus. You are not demanding focus in your day, your week, your month. Becoming that woman we will be, it is not a mood and it is not a vibe. It is consistency. It is incremental. It is daily reps. It is daily deposits. It is chips making chunks. It's what happens at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday when no one's looking, when no one's calling you, when no one cares. That is what this is, guys. When your actions line up, meet, match, and kiss your intentions. Adjust your calendar, adjust your day, adjust your diary, whatever you want to say. You have to adjust your day to day to start going in the right direction. With that note, if you want real structure to help finish the year strong, I would love to help you through one-to-one coaching. We will map out your standards, simplify your week, and build serious follow-through that sticks. So by the time Jan 1, 2026 rolls around, you are moving and grooving, and 2026 will be your best year yet. The link is in the show notes. All the information is there. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. So as we wrap this episode up, I want you guys to remember that this week isn't about chasing a new era or starting something from scratch. It is about acting and becoming like the person your choices have already built and where you want to go, not only for the rest of this month and for the rest of this year, but for the rest of your life. Everything that we've done this season up until this part, the reset, the refinement, the reflection has been leading here. You've been quietly raising your standards, cleaning up your energy, learning what feels aligned and what doesn't. This is the point where you stop thinking about the work and you truly start embodying it. Becoming is not dramatic, and I don't want it to come off like that, because true becoming is subtle. It's drip content. It's choosing to communicate more clearly with the smallest little tweaks. It's getting out of the door on time. It's saying no without guilt. It's cleaning your desk. It's dressing in a way that matches how you actually see yourself now and not how you used to. It's little micro decisions, which is where your self-concept lives. And you guys know the whole gist of Sage Sorority is self-concept, personal development, and sisterhood. This is a huge tenet of what we do here and what I truly believe is available for all of us at the highest level. So if you've been doing your inner work and wondering when the results will show, trust me, I get it. They are. It reflects outwardly before you even recognize. They show up in how you speak, who you keep close to you, how you handle conflict, how you carry yourself in rooms that used to intimidate you, how you speak to the men you're dating, how you speak to the men you're in relationships with, how you speak to the men you're married to. Well, man, maybe not men. LOL. That is the woman that you're becoming. And this week, I want you to treat your routines like evidence, not punishment, not performance, but real evidence, real proof. Proof that you're showing up differently in the world, bit by bit. Proof that you are grounded in your own rhythm. Proof that you are committed to who you see in your dreams. Proof that this next chapter is not waiting for you ahead of time. You're in it right now, today. Next week, we're going to take it one step further because obviously we've done a lot on the internal stuff. The next phase is letting the world catch up. You guys always know I say look inward first, then outward. So next week, we're going to talk about the outward, how you show up, how you're read, how your energy translates in real life. We're going to call that episode the rebrand era. So giving you a little sneak peek. And there's a lot of buzz about rebranding online right now. And I figured it would be perfect timing, and it ties into the autumn energy so well. And it's really about letting your external presence reflect who you've already become internally without it feeling like fake or forced. You know what I mean? So this week we're talking about integration. Chips make chunks, so get to it. And next week is all about expression. Again, you guys know where to find me if coaching is what you're looking for. Everything is listed for you. I will talk to you guys next week. Have an amazing week. Have an amazing weekend. I love you so much. Bye.